Welcome to Law Help Australia, where we keep you informed and safe with tips and updates. My name is Dinesh Weerakkody. In a recent episode, we've discussed about warranties, guarantees and about returning products. Because we've got a lot of questions through emails, we thought we've discussed further on the matter. But first, let me introduce you to our panel. Craig, tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Thanks, Dinesh. So I'm Craig, and I just recently graduated from my law school at La Trobe University.
And Mary, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Of course, Dinesh. I'm a third-year Arts and Law student at Deakin University.
And Emily, what have you been up to?
Thanks, Dinesh. I'm still at D Legal, practicing in conveyancing, property law, criminal matters and family law.
All right, good. Let me start by asking this question. What needs to be on the proof of a purchase so you could return the product or request for a refund?
There are many details that should be included to ensure that your consumer rights can be exercised.
In particular, we note the following: the date you received the product, the description of the product, the price, and location in which you purchased the product.
But this does raise the question, are photos a sufficient proof of purchase?
Yes, make sure that the picture is clear and all the details are easily recognisable.
In fact, it's actually good practice to take photos of all your receipts because they may deteriorate over time. Now, I would also suggest to save these onto a cloud service so you can access these receipts at any time, so when you're at the shop or anything else to that effect.
For convenience, the ACCC has an app called the ACCC Shopper, which has a feature to save all details and take photos of your receipts.
Actually, I should note that some legal scholars have, argued that a Facebook post or a social media post is sufficient evidence. However, this hasn't been yet tested, so we're unsure as to the validity of this.
That being said, one could suggest that as long as it satisfies the elements, then there should not be an issue.
Yeah, but trying to get all that in one photo seems a bit difficult.
What happens if someone receives a product as a gift?
Gift recipients have the same refund rights as customers who buy directly from a shop, but you can only return the item if you have, again, the proof of purchase.
Let's talk about a situation where you buy something from a second-hand shop, a second-hand item. What happens there? What are your rights?
Well, arguably you'd have the same refund rights as a new item. However, you have to take into account the item's age, the price, and condition at time of sale.
This raises the interesting question though. Most second-hand items don't really come with packaging, so do I need the original packaging?
Now, Craig, I'll say the short answer is yes. As long as you have proof that the item was purchased from the place that you are attempting to return it to, you do not need the original packaging that the item came with or within. This rule also applies to items you have purchased from a shop, even if they were brand new products.
How about a situation such as mine where you're quite an avid op shopper and the ticket says sold as is? What recourse do I have there?
In that situation, you would not have the grounds to return the item if it had an issue that was present at the time that you purchased it.
So in short, if the faults of the item at the time of purchase were evident, then you will have no recourse for a refund.
Now remember, businesses can have their own policy, which is not a contravention of the consumer law.
So for example, Dinesh, those "if you break it or buy" signs, these signs are not illegal and stores can enforce this policy without signage. Another example would be fees for trying on or browsing products. This is surprisingly allowed as long as, number one, the store has advised you on how long you will be charged, and number two, the store has advised you on what items before you enter the shop.
They can also conduct bag searches, but there must be a sign displayed stating that a bag search may be conducted as a condition of entry into the store. You have a right to refuse, and you can be asked to leave if you refuse the bag search.
Now let's talk about services. Shall we first get an understanding of services? What are services?
Dinesh, basically they are tasks undertaken in exchange for money. Some of these things might include trade works, preparation of documents, teaching, flights, tickets to events.
Yeah, continuing on, Emily, the rights for services are similar to the physical item rights that we discussed last week.
Now, what is required when someone provides you with a service?
However, it should be noted that there are different rights when it comes to services as opposed to physical items.
That's interesting, Craig. So I think now we will focus on services, and let's get an idea about your rights in relation to services. When you get a service from someone, what are your rights?
Well, the consumer law makes it clear that the work must be carried out with due care and skill. Basically, this means that the person undertaking the work will be expected to have an acceptable level of skill when considering their history and experience with the work.
So, for example, a building contractor that has 20 years of experience would be expected to have a higher standard of work than a building contractor with just 2 years.